might wait until it's all. I can't stand the week to week stuff. I got to be honest with you. Are you guys into the week to week
I
stuff?
love it. Yeah,
I hate it.
great.
I can't stand it.
It's good for companion series here at Showboys.
For sure.
Yes.
But it's not good for anything else besides that. It's just frustrating at this point, especially when everybody else is doing, I want to binge your stuff. I don't want to wait week to week like it's 1998.
A lot of services are starting to go back to the week to week thing. We talked about this a while ago, Nick. Like Prime does it with all their new shows.
Really?
The weekly release schedule. Disney Plus does it.
Netflix is the only one that doesn't.
But they kind of did it with Arcane. They released Arcane in three episode acts. So it was 9 total episodes in the series. Was it a week release schedule for that, Nick? I don't know. I watched it after they all came out, but
I watched it the week the third act came out. So basically I just ran right into the third act. So I basically was in a binge session with that.
So I don't know if Netflix will keep messing around with weekly-ish release of new shows. But I kind of like the weekly release of new stuff. And I think from the perspective of the show itself and the show creators and all that stuff, I think it's good for them too, because like with all the Disney Plus stuff, you have a week to just talk about what you think is going to happen. And
that's true.
And you're going on YouTube and people are talking about, what's going to happen in the next episode of WandaVision or whatever. And so like, there's just constant talk throughout the 2 months your show is running, because people like can't wait to see the next episode.
I like the idea, but sometimes like I love watching like theory videos on YouTube, especially when Game of Thrones was on. I loved it, but the problem is that a lot of the theories ended up being far significantly better than what the actual show put out.
Yeah, it's so true.
So it to me kind of hurt the experience of watching the show, because I was expecting so much more, and it never came. So I mean, I get it. I didn't know Prime was doing it, because I watch Bosch on Prime, which is like a LAPD detective thing, and that comes out all at once. So
really,
is that theirs?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it's like select stuff, because I know The Boys is weekly. I think Carnival Row is weekly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the weekly stuff at all, just because it helps me space stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm getting back into that groove of being able to better remember to watch stuff if it's week by week. Otherwise, I'll do a bunch, forget about it, and like not. But my biggest gripe right now is Hulu and their ads. They are atrocious.
Sure.
I can't.
It's almost worse than just watching regular TV.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, I tried to watch the first Spider-Man movie on there the other day, and it was like, like the thing popped up like a 5-minute ad. It was like, are you kidding me? 5 minutes? Like, that seems excessively large for Hulu.
Yeah. That's the norm, bro. Hulu's
especially with like 20-30 minute episodes. They squeak in like 2-minute ads like 3 times. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. And the volume for the ads is like exponentially louder than whatever you're watching.
Yes, always. Yeah, it's really annoying. But I think go ahead.
I was just gonna say one last thing about the weekly release thing too. I think from a consumer standpoint, I kind of like it too, because like it's easier to talk about with your friends, right? You don't have to worry about like,
spoiling.
Have I already seen like all 3, like the entire season? Like I know that if they watched last week's episode, we're at the same place, so like we can talk about the same things and I don't have to worry about like ruining something for
I mean,
or whatever.
I get that, but it's just for me personally, like, you guys know I get on like kicks and I'm like fully engrossed in that bubble, and it just doesn't lend well to that way of living, because if I'm like on a kick, I'm going to be off the kick well before the show ends. And a lot of shows I don't even finish because I'm like, oh, okay, moved on to something else. Yeah. Whereas like I'm on Marvel now, Marvel stuff. So I was able to watch Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and the first episode of Hawkeye, just like back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
So,
when like up until probably The Boys came out before Mandalorian, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, like the first season. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So up until The Boys, really for me, that's when I noticed the weekly release coming back. But like up until then, we had like years and years and years of just binging everything as soon as it comes out. So like it's such a big shift in what we're used to. So like I see both sides, but I think I'm leaning more favorable towards the weekly stuff, at least for some things. Like I like being able to go on Netflix and watch an entire season if I want. But yeah, I think that might play a little bit too into how you feel too, Chad, just because everyone has been so used to the Netflix way of things for so long.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And for me, it was The Mandalorian was the first one and I just assumed it was just Disney doing it. I didn't know these other companies were going back to it. And I just found it very annoying waiting week to week for The Mandalorian.
Just hold out watching it.
Yeah, that's what I typically do. That's what I mean. That's what I did with WandaVision and Winter Soldier, Loki. If I ever get the Loki, I'll just wait. I didn't want to wait for Hawkeye because I felt like the timing was right for Hawkeye. You know what I mean? It's Christmas time. It's based in.
That's true.
So I didn't want to wait too long on it. But
what episode of Hawkeye are they on?
Third episode just came out this week.
Okay.
I think it's six part.
Maybe I'll switch to that because I can cruise through some of that. Because right now I'm trying to push through some Hulu stuff, and the ads are just murdering me.
Yeah.
What could be on Hulu that you have to watch?
Mike, the two things on Hulu that I'm trying to watch are two things that you want me to watch.
What?
What We Do in the Shadows.
You're finally watching that show?
I told you this like 2 watchings ago.
Oh my gosh. Do you love it?
We only got like halfway through the first season because the ads were so brutal.
But it's funny though, right?
Yeah, it was starting to all kind of click together. Yeah. We're starting to get the feel.
So confident of an answer. Yeah, it's starting to click together.
Well, the problem
sounds like he might hate it.
But that's the thing. If the ads weren't there, I would enjoy it so much more because they really break the immersion of these 20-minute episodes by throwing a 2-minute ad in my face.
Yeah.
And even when they give me a choice, like none of the choices are good. Give me a good ad, like about like Lego or Star Wars.
Yeah. The thing that annoys me about Hulu is I have Hulu without ads, right? And then my parents have Hulu Live, which I use every now and then because there's a lot more stuff on that. But the if you go and watch something that's on the regular Hulu, when you have Hulu Live, you still have ads, even though you're paying like quadruple the amount of money.
That's stupid.
So it's so annoying.
That's probably a thing with live TV. They have to.
It could be.
But you're paying so much more.
You're paying significant amount more, and I can pay literally like $10 a month and watch the same thing with no ads. So it doesn't make sense. I get it for the live TV stuff, but not for the stuff that you can get just on regular Hulu. It makes no sense.
What I've noticed about live TV with YouTube TV is especially with sports, sometimes for whatever reason, they don't have, I guess, the rights. I don't know. Like sometimes the commercials don't show and they'll just be like, we'll be right back. And I appreciate that way more than the ad. I was like, just give me a blank screen until the show's back on. I just don't want to watch the ad.